Yeah, if you watch my original video series I did on this, like, that had to have been like 3.5 years ago now. I bought the DLC for the ninja costume. I gave them all the rider belts and the nunchaku too. So there's like no fan service. The rider belt is basically Kamen Rider Black's belt. I was not aware of that. I didn't have that. You can see it on them right now. I wasn't aware of that when I played this originally. They had that. I didn't care about all the other stuff. It's like the ninja costume looks cool. All the other cool stuff you have to unlock. Music in this game is really good too. It seems to hold up with like all the shit going on. It didn't on the PS4 version. Start like constantly tanking, which is understandable. I know there's a lot of poorly optimized PS4 games, but I didn't really complain about it that much with this game because you can definitely just fill the screen with stuff, and there's just too much going on. So I totally get it with this game, but just wanted to get this again, see if I could actually play at a high level and not have it tank. I saw so many people saying like, "Oh well, the game doesn't drop frames at all in PS4." I'm like, well, I guess you just didn't get to that point, which is fine. This game does not explain anything, so I don't really expect most people to have really pushed the game that far to where it does drop frames. Should probably buy some rings. The UI in this game is pretty bad though. A lot of this stuff is just extending a single combo, but it looks like you have like 50,000 moves and you really don't. So it gets really confusing. I'm used to it because I've already played this game before, but it looks a little daunting having all this stuff, and most of it is not actually a new move. It's just extending something you already have. Well, I think this is the summon swords, if I remember correctly. Let's go ahead and grab that. Hers is pretty easy to get a cool combo bonus on, so you want to buff that. Her punch combo in the air is really good too, because it's very easy to get the timing. So you get all the buffs from it. Yeah, let's go ahead and buff that. Alright. Okay, so now I need to grind for the cool ring, because hers is the easiest one to get the start the ultimate combinations off of. Chris, the combo system in this game is basically just do whatever the hell you want. It's more like just keeping track of whatever the hell is going on. Is what's the only real limitation in this game. That and the bosses, you don't stagger to anything, but once you build your characters properly, they get decimated in seconds too. First playthrough they're pretty annoying, but on the second playthrough onward, you just destroy everything. This game is very fun to play, even if it's very budget. A lot of elements of it are not as smooth as they should be. Alright, let's go after the ones that don't have the humanoid bosses first, because they're the worst ones.
Okay, the locals have indicated that these ruins are a hotspot for undead spirits.
Bastards sending us to high-altitude heights now. We gotta stop them before they reach the village down below. Okay, let's drop off our bags and head out.
Because this franchise has had the same problem as Senran Kagura, where instead of iterating off something that was actually really well designed and fun, like this game, they kept making all these random spin-offs and stuff. That's the problem Senran Kagura's have. This game is only one game. The game that came after this was like a generic, like, schoolgirl zombie shooter, which no one really seemed to care about. I was excited for a sequel to this game, like just more budget, better boss and enemy design, more moves. Didn't really need to change the formula at all, but instead they made that shooter that no one really gave a crap about. Pretty disappointing, really. I'm hoping the one they just announced a couple months ago will be a more of a return to form. Kurt's spell doesn't really have any hype. They pretty much killed it with all the microtransactions. They've been listening to the community, but it's all just like boneheaded stuff that shouldn't have been an issue in the first place. Like, it should be, like, common knowledge that most gamers don't want to grind for, like, 80 hours to unlock a new character. That's barely acceptable in anything, but when, like, there's only 4 classes in the game, and half of them require grinding, then that's not something that most people want to do, or even have time for. And the game has, like, no content either, so there's not even anything to really grind on.
I really am the best.
Grindy stuff like that only works when there's, like, actually something to grind on in the first place. The game only has, like, I think people said it has, like, 5 bosses. So who in their right mind is going to grind for 80 hours on the same 5 bosses? Just for a character. And it's one thing if you're doing it for, like, a gear or something like Closers. Even though in Closers it's really excessive too. That's why I kind of have not been playing that game much. Yeah, this game is mostly fun when you try to take it to a high level and you just start doing a bunch of crazy shit and like chaining entire rooms together and maxing out the combo counter and stuff. The enemy design and boss design is honestly pretty terrible, but it's a fun stress relief game, and there aren't that many of those anymore. A lot of these technical action games are like Neo and stuff are just stressful and frustrating to play. You can still, like, no damage and stuff in this game. You can do skillful stuff in this game, but it's just takes a while to get there, and most people never really bother to learn. I did because it was the only game I had at the time, and I really enjoyed playing it. I haven't really seen another game like this that really lets you have this kind of combat flow, where you just decimate everything and nothing stands a chance, but you have to really work for it. You can't just mash buttons. You have to use, like, everything in your disposal. Because the only thing that can't cancel the super animations. So a lot of it is like strategically putting one down and then chaining the rest of the stuff together.
I had no idea our enemy would be so big! Stay sharp. If we let our guard down at all, this thing could squish us flat. Please. Who do you think you're talking to?
Yeah, but with closers, it's like, I like the core gameplay, I just don't like how it takes like freaking 2 months to get my endgame gear, and there's nothing I can do to speed it up. That's what I don't like about that game. I like playing the game, it's fun. But after I did all that stuff with Harpy, I just didn't want to do it again. And it's like, I don't really care if they keep adding more characters when I have to do all that again. And it just takes so long, and it's so repetitive. I wish they had another way to like gate progression besides just straight up making you wait. God, how much health this boss has. Can't wait till I get to the part of the game where these bosses just die in seconds and the game's just pure fun. And at the beginning it's very rough. You can't really burst them down.
That all there is to it?
Okay, now I need to grind for the cool ring, and then the game just starts to become super fun. Okay, so I know LA has the beach. There's the humanoid boss, so I don't want to go there yet. This has the big Jiangxi. I guess I'll go there. I still don't have enough. Actually, let me see if I can get her her full combo. She need that anyway. I think most people were just upset that it's so much grinding just to get the other classes, and there's not really enough content in the game to warrant all that grinding. I think that's pretty understandable. I've seen people in Brazil complaining about the prices too, like I guess they're not doing regional pricing or something, and Brazil is like one of their main audiences from like Elsword and Grand Chase and stuff, and they don't seem to be really accommodating those people either. But I think in general there should not be a massive grind when the game has no content. It's just that's an honest complaint that people can have. Like, if you're gonna make me grind for something, then there should be something to actually grind on. I agree there has to be a grind in some capacity, but I don't know if forcing it with when there's no content is the best idea.
Messing around like that could really get you hurt, sis. I was right. Never knew.
Damn! The undead spirits here seem to have originated as temple monks, unfortunately. Since this used to be a training ground for them, you can expect fierce resistance. Stay sharp.
Roger. Hard to believe this can happen to people like that. We need to release them from their suffering right away.
Kind of ironic that their holy training is just gonna make it harder for them to die.
Oops, I don't have enough meter.
mistakes.
All over this. Damn straight. All over this. Open up. Damn straight.
Well, I forgot the summon swords is like the only attack that doesn't stay active when you switch out. All the other attacks, they have an active hitbox when you switch out, but the summon swords doesn't, so you have to kind of change your habits and not switch when you have that out. And it's really good once you get the ultimate combinations unlocked, because then you can just do a bunch of damage while you're getting to that point, which takes a couple seconds.
Know about this. Ready to go. This ends now.
All over this.
If I remember correctly, the way to get to the ultimate combination the fastest was to do this part until she gets to the... she sees it, she does the Yaido thing. And then you dodge offset out of her doing that. I don't know if I have the ability to do it now. Let me kill these guys and see. I still need the cool ring to do it anyway, consistently. The timing's too strict otherwise. Let's see. Oh yeah, I can do it with her. I just need to grind up the money. I like how this is just a PS2 game in 1080p. That's why it's so good, though. It doesn't have all the problems that all the modern games have. There's no bloating or padding in this game. You just kill shit until the game's over, and the combat is fun.
What do you think, Saki?
It's not a big challenge, but it's a great stress reliever game. And it's very fun to play once you start mastering all the systems. I mean, it literally is just a PS2 game. Like, look at the asset quality. I'm on the PC version with it maxed out. It still looks like an upscale PS2 game. But that's totally okay. I wish there were more games like this that just didn't all focus on graphics. Just give me a fun game to play. There we go, there's the broken shit. Now when you get this and you do the ultimate combination, you just destroy everything. And you keep building meter, it gets so much fun. I'm not going to be able to do that for a while though. Probably another 2 levels. She has better summoned swords than Virgil does. PSO is aged terribly though. I could never go back and play that game. I know there's people that still really like that game, but man, I just can't do it. So clunky. All the weird ass systems too, like the loot table being dependent on your name. I don't know if they changed that in the Stack server. I could never go back and play that game. Now, PSO2 is already on the decline. This is the 7th year of service. The decline pretty much started when they started adding more monetization to the game. That was not just cosmetics. They have the whole Star Gem systems and all these other ways you can spend money now. I haven't played that game in like 3 years. I want to get to the higher difficulties where they attack more often, don't spend so much time fighting stragglers. I don't think it's pay to win, they just added more ways to spend money because the costumes were not, I guess, supporting the game enough. A lot of people just stopped playing. Episode 4 is where a lot of people stopped because the game was in a really bad state. From what I understand, I think Episode 6 is they have the director from Episode 3 back. So a lot of people seem to be excited about that, but I don't really want to play that game again.
Right person, right job.
Well, the problem with PSO2 is that nothing ever drops, and all the best stuff is all gated towards the emergency quests, which force you to basically mold your life around the game. That's what I got personally tired of. That's why I stopped playing it.
So, this is our Kung Fu sorcerer, is it?
I guess he's the one controlling all the junk shit.
He doesn't look as strong as all that, but he's probably got something up his sleeve.
He's just running into the wall. I don't remember him doing that on a PS4 version.
I really am the best.
Oh, I'm so close. You know, I think I'm gonna go grind. See if I can get like 7,000 more, because then I can really start opening the game up once I get the cool ring.
My intel says this whole area is prone to regular sandstorms. If you get too close to one, you'll be sucked in, so stay sharp. Try timing your movements so you can slip by when the wind dies down.
Roger that. Out here I can see that nature itself can be your enemy.
No worries, Saya. Whatever happens, happens. It's all in the attitude. Damn it. This is serious. We're in a place with no landmarks. One wrong move and you're lost forever. Nah.
If you get lost, Saki, you just need to head toward danger.
And everything will be fine.
Head toward danger? Yeah. Like a sandstorm.
Dude, that would be amazing.
Example.
But they would probably put a bunch of dumb gimmicks in it. What's fun about this game is, like I said, it's just a PS2 game with upscaled assets. Which is something we don't get much anymore. You either get pixel art or you get like big $50 trillion AAA games. Not just fun little small games like this that don't look great, but they have a lot of heart in the way they play. So I'm excited for the next one. I just hope it'll be as mechanically robust as this game, just with better enemy and boss design. But they haven't really said anything about it yet. They just pretty much said that it exists. It's supposed to come out this year, so I assume probably like the summer or something. I don't think they're gonna do like a big marketing push for a game like this. It's been like almost 4 years since this came out. They dicked around with that stupid shooter instead of just giving us more of this. I just missed the appeal of PS2 games. There's a reason why a lot of them have still aged pretty well, especially when you can run them on an emulator with better performance and upscaling and stuff. Like some of them still play pretty well. I need to do that 60 FPS God Hand mod. That might be a fun side project. I mean, the music's so good. I need to get the soundtrack to this game. It's kind of hard to hear it when you're like just filling the screen with stuff.
I'm surprised even myself. Right person, right job.
Just so you know, the temperature here can reach upwards of 48 centigrade. Compared to Japan or Romania, I'd say that's pretty grueling.
Yeah. The less time we spend here, the better. Oh, I'm on fire.
I like how this is it's just a B movie.
Keep it up, you're going to shrivel away.
It's just a really shitty action movie that happens to have really good gameplay.
Now that I'd like to see.
Ugh, in your dreams.
I really like the dub too. This game probably costs like $10 to make, but they got really good voice actors. I wish they had a PC exclusive thing like they do in the Muso games where you could have more enemies on the screen. That would be really fun. But only on the second playthrough though. It would be a really slog on your first one. Yeah, there's no like deep underlying message bullshit with this game. It's just go kill shit. Have fun. Dude, I got so tired of people telling me to play Nier. I'm like, I'm already depressed. I don't need to play some depressing, grimdark, brooding game. Especially if the combat isn't even that good. Like, I will totally pass on that. I'm not interested in playing that game at all. Give me more stuff like this. Probably made a pretty good profit on this game, honestly. I think it actually sold pretty well. It's on sale pretty often. Yeah, I know.
I really am the best.
Actually, I think there's a goddess statue over here somewhere. One of the hardest trophies to get was the one that makes you get all the goddess statues, because there's some hidden in like inexplicably stupid places that you would never go to normally. The next level after this, there's one like hidden all the way back in the corner. I went through the game like 4 times and couldn't find it. I remember I was actually streaming it at the time. I had to go find a video that showed where it was. And that was like one of the last trophies I had to get on the game. Some of the trophies in this game are like really grindy. Alright, here we go. Now I can start doing the broken shit. Alright, let me try it now. There we go. Yeah, there's the cool shit. Time to have fun. You have to dodge offset it though, it takes really long to get to. Surprised I still have the muscle memory for it, sort of. This isn't the best place to practice, this has all those like sandstorms. The Mudmen are left. Gotta do the combo on them. I do it again. Had to do it with her. Ah, come on. I hate these guys. I don't know how they survived all that. There we go. Dude, this guy is camping over here. There we go.
I'm surprised even myself.
Master of camouflage. Just chilling in the corner there, and he's the same color as the ground.
save you. I will crush you. Baton get damn straight. Open up.
I think this is the worst level in the game. Just getting lost is dumb. It's like the one thing this has in common with like most modern games is just getting lost for no reason. I like it better when it's just PS2 rooms, no bullshit. I don't remember the way through here. I used to have this memorized. Ah, here we go. Need to start investing in some stronger weapons, otherwise the subsequent bosses are going to take forever. And now that I have the cool ring, I can start buying them the better weapons. The way the damage, the way the progression is done in this game is better than a lot of other games too, in that there's no like actual stat increase on anything. And like the weapons are where your damage output comes from, so if you want to challenge yourself and just dig around with the combo system, all you need to do is just take off the strongest weapon, which I think is pretty cool design. A lot of games don't let you do that. You're like permanently stuck with just jacked up stats and can't have fun anymore past a certain point. I don't remember where to go. Oh, here we go. I was there.
Scorpion. That's just great.
Alright, so let me pop the gem.
Things got a real warped fashion sense. Weird stuff.
Whoops, didn't get cool. Yeah, now they're starting to get destroyed. Nice. This is exactly how I remember the game. You just get stun locked to death. Once you get the ultimate combination. Ah, messed up. Okay, I think I'm gonna stop there for now. Switch gears here. I want to finish up the Battle for the Grid story mode. I got halfway through that yesterday while I was doing some errands, and I got kind of sidetracked because my Switch ran out of juice. So give me a second, I'm going to put on some music. I have to switch some cables around and stuff. They show the characters that are supposedly going to be in the DLC, so I'm kind of interested to see where the story goes. Alright, sorry about that. I definitely have better viewer retention when I take breaks than a lot of the other streamers, that's for sure. Like, these guys can't even take a break for like 10 minutes without like everybody leaving. Let's make sure this is working perfectly. Haven't used my adapter in a while. That looks like it's fine. Okay. They nerfed Cat so much. I need to find another third on my team because she's just does not cut it anymore. They nerfed a lot of the loops. You can't like get as many reps on the loops anymore. So her especially, I just don't know the optimized stuff. I've been looking in the Discord for the past few days since they dropped this patch, and just nobody's been posting anything. I might have to look on Twitter. There he is. He's going to be the next DLC. Apparently, he has a character model, so I assume so.
Oops.
on target.
Why is Goldar my Zord? What? I just fought. What sense does that make? And he's in the background. It made more sense to just give me the regular one. I just noticed that. It's like 3 Goldars in that fight. In Deca Ranger, his head actually fits the helmet more as Deca Master. But in SPD, they made like a completely different costume for him, even though they're basically the same character. And he has like that really long snout. That's why it looks weird. Watch like the Sentai for that season. It actually makes more sense. His head, it doesn't seem like as much of a suspension of disbelief. Yeah, his head is a lot bigger in SPD than in Deca Ranger. The suit he has in SPD is much better than the costume they have for him in Deca Ranger, though. If I remember correctly, they had to like fight to make that costume. They put a lot of work into it. Oh shit, is he gonna fight Draken?
No.
3, 2, 1, fight!
I don't know how to use this character. Kind of been a nice little introduction to playing as everybody, though. I only use like half the roster. Yeah, she's pretty fun. She might be my third.
Mystic Force. We're not backing down.
This game is so fun. I'm glad they're still working on it. I know it didn't sell well. It needs a lot of polish still.
Fight! Warned.
That super still sucks. Ah, that input read. I don't really like playing as Draken, but I don't know how to play as him either. I like that he has a genocide cutter though, that's pretty cool. Kind of weird. He can't juggle with his jump L. Oh, that was pretty cool. Starting to figure out some stuff here. Well, that launched in a pretty, admittedly terrible state. You could not block low online. There's still no lobbies. I think that's what kills the player base for this the most, is you can't just play with your friends. You have to basically, they have to both go on casual and ranked at the exact same time and hope you get each other. Even with the low player base, it's still a really, like, small chance. So, it's hard to just play this game just casually with a friend, and that's kind of what's missing. A lot of the other small population fighting games like, you know, Guilty Gear and you know, Unist and stuff, they have lobbies so that you don't have to worry about not being able to find someone to play as long as you just go into the Discord. You can't do that with this game. So I'm glad that they added this story mode so that the game does have more single player value, and the story's been pretty cool so far. It's obviously heavily limited by the fact that there's only 12 playable characters right now, but it's still been pretty fun. Cutscenes are cool too. They got a lot of the voice actors back. Jason and Tommy came back.
Hold on, guys. We're getting out of here. No.
Fight!
Alright. I will say this game does a better job of actually having a reason for there to be fights instead of just because the game needs to have gameplay. And a lot of other games, I remember all the stupid bullshit reasons they come up with, like the Guilty Gear characters to fight just because they didn't want it to just be a visual novel. Like in this, there actually is a bit more of a reason for them to actually be fighting each other. There's like clear villains and stuff like that instead of, oh, I'm pissed at you because you didn't buy lunch, so we need to have a 3-round fight now kind of thing. Ah, I feel cheated. That didn't work.
more phenomenal.
2, 1, fight!
I don't know how to do the ground to air combo. Seems like it has really tight timing, but I don't know how to play as this character. Ah, there we go. Okay. I don't like his stubby normals. The only thing I like on him is the genocide cutter.
Warned.
What's that attack so weird?
Well, well, well. The great and powerful sage of Eltar, now in hologram form and seeking my counsel. How the times have changed, sort of.
Indeed, they have.
Trust me, witch. This isn't our first choice.
Yes! Do turn your snap in my throne room. A most wise decision, darling. Finster! What do we have in the way of collars? Maybe a nice choker will help the commander remember his place.
Go ahead and try it. Please.
That's enough, Rita. We come before you today because the current threat affects us all. Lord Draken...
Yes, I know. He's moving through dimensions, conquering rangers. I have to admit, we've had so much fun watching you all scurry about.
His methods continue to put a massive strain on the grid, and his actions place all of existence at risk.
And here I held such high hopes for this conversation. If you think I'm scared of a Power Ranger, much less a Power Ranger ending reality, you're even more foolish than I've thought for the last 10,000 years!
Lord Draken's powers are still rooted in your magic, or at least, the magic of his Rita Repulsa.
What does that mean?
It means in his world, he killed you. Did you not know that?
We have known each other for many years, Rita. I would not be here now if I believed there was another way. For the fate of reality, we need you to do what no one else has been able to accomplish. Rita, we need you to save us all.
What? To be continued. Well, that's it, I guess. That was pretty cool. Like I said, they had much better reasons to actually fight each other instead of just random stuff happening. Like most fighting game stories devolve into just coming up with stupid reasons for them to fight because there needs to be some semblance of gameplay in a video game. I thought that was actually pretty well done. It's obviously very budget, but better than most other fighting game stories. It also didn't overstay its welcome either. It was only like an hour and a half, maybe not even that. Some of these fighting game stories are like they're approaching like action game length, and it's like I'm not that invested in a fighting game story. But it makes sense that they would do that because there's just like not enough playable characters to really carry more story at this point. You already fight and play as every character like numerous times, so it makes sense that they would do that. I'm glad it wasn't just a one-off thing. And they did pretty obviously hint at the next three characters, which will be Lauren or Kaoru Shiba, Doggy Kruger, and then Jen. So that was pretty fun. I mean, especially for free. I enjoyed that. I mean, if they had kept it going with the same 12 characters, it would have had the same problem every other fighting game story does, where you're just fighting the same characters over and over, and it's mostly just for the sake of having gameplay instead of like an actual narrative meaning. Oops, I didn't mean to load that. I'll have to back out. Yeah, we'll finish the rest of the story when the characters come out. It's actually a very good thing to do with this game. They don't have a large roster to work with. I don't really think another 2 hours of fighting the Mastodon sentries another 10 times would have been very good either, because it would have just meant all the other characters that they would inevitably have to add to the story to make it make sense would just be portraits and still images. So I guess when the DLC comes out, they're going to have Doggy Kruger and stuff in there, so that should give it some more variety.
Mystic Force!
doesn't work.
Mystic Force. Energy of light, fire. Magical source, Mystic Force.
Oh yeah, it works mid-screen. Cool. I might actually just use her instead, because Cat just seems so drastically nerfed. Doesn't seem as good as she was before. Let's see if there's anything else I feel like playing on here before I switch over. I do need to upload tomorrow's video, so I can't be on too much longer. I'm just trying to see if I feel like playing something else. Have I tried Kurtzpell? I played the beta. I wasn't terribly impressed. I don't know how much longevity that game's going to have. They launched it in like super early access. And it has like no content right now. I might be more interested in playing it when they have more. I'm not really interested in PvP because there's just too many laggy people. There's a lot of people breaking the region locks and stuff too, so that's never any fun to deal with. Kinda feel like playing this, but I'm too lazy to hook up my stick, so I think I'm gonna go back to PC. You know, I will say, I never played through the Dragon Ball FighterZ story mode because I heard it was just a mind-numbing grind. And you end up just fighting the same characters ad nauseum. And I guess to make it worse, none of the DLC characters were added in later. So you're pretty much just fighting the base cast, and it's all just like piss-easy fights. I actually like the way they did it in Battle for the Grid. You know, he did get to play as every character. He got to kind of try everybody out. It wasn't too hard. The story was actually pretty interesting. The cutscenes were good. The voice acting was good. And it was only like an hour long. So, it wasn't a massive time investment, and they didn't overstay their welcome. It pretty much was just straight to the point. Obviously, a lot of that is because the game is low budget. And they don't really have the roster size to really facilitate having a super long story mode, but it actually worked in its favor. I didn't ever feel like I wanted to stop. The only reason I stopped yesterday is because I was out of battery and I was away from home. That was actually very well done. I think a lot of the other fighting game story modes could learn a lot from that. You know, you don't need a massive budget. It doesn't need to be 6 hours long. You don't need to come up with BS reasons for everyone to fight each other. Just make something simple. Or a couple hours, please the casuals and the hardcore fans. That's actually one of the best fighting game story modes I played, really. I just hope they'll wait until they have more than 3 more characters to actually add more, because then it's still going to be It's still going to be just fighting the Mastodon sentries like 15 times, and that's not terribly engaging. But that was definitely much better paced than a lot of other stuff. It was short and to the point. Alright, I think I'm going to play some Card Over Time. So, hold on. Play Card Over Time. I think I'm just going to do a chill run, and then that's going to be it for tonight. Yeah, well, the Hasbro getting into games and stuff is still relatively new. And that game was probably in production like right when they got bought out by Hasbro, so I think they're just trying to test the waters. They don't want to pump a ton of money into stuff, which is fine. Power Rangers as a brand has been on life support for ages, so it makes sense for them to not want to fund some big AAA action game. The ideal situation would be that they're secretly working with Platinum right now to make a Power Rangers game, very much like they did for Korra and Transformers. Korra was a pretty shitty game, but Transformers was definitely a lot of fun. And if they could make a Power Rangers game with a very similar budget, maybe more robust like tag mechanics to facilitate the Power Rangers franchise and fit it properly, then that would be really fun. And they have worked with them before, so I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. It's not too far-fetched for that to happen, maybe later down the line. Well, Jump Force is dead because it's a shitty game. Not much else to be said there, really. No, not really. I mean, the DFO sequel looks decent, but I don't really have faith in it actually providing a good experience for me. Oh, there goes that run. That's fine. Just trying to get loot boxes at this point anyway. Nothing good that time. Junk. Yeah, not tonight, but you should definitely hit me up if you want to do that. Because to get the last weapon, I need to clear online customs, which I don't know what that is. But it's just a bow, so I don't really care. I never use the bow in this game. I only use the melee weapons. Bow seems kind of weak. The bow in their last game was like really good. In this game they nerfed it quite a bit from what I've seen, but I haven't ever really seen anybody else play this game but me. I imagine most of the fan base is Chinese and they can't use YouTube. I would like to see other gameplay of this, see if there's like stuff I'm missing, but I've kind of just been going off how I play it. I haven't really been keeping tabs on action RPGs or AMMOs. There just hasn't been any that I've really cared about. Yeah, I did everything on Dragon's Crown, but it kind of stopped around the time they did the last patch because it just the loot was not interesting enough. The loot was very boring in that game. Also, the combat was too like RPG heavy. Like nothing staggered consistently, so the combo system was like pointless. And I would have been fine with that if there was cool loot to kind of offset that, but there wasn't. The loot was generally pretty boring. It was really difficult to get anything that actually had some fun fixes on it. I did put like 70 hours into that game though. I think I got close to getting the Platinum Trophy. I'm kind of frustrated they put that game out on PS4 and they didn't freaking add anything to it. And then I heard that it sold poorly, and it's like, well, it was already on PS3 and Vita, and it was given out for free on PS Plus twice, I think. And he didn't add any new content, so why would you expect anybody to buy it? I understand that with the way that they draw the characters and stuff, it's hard to like make a new class, but they could have at least added some new enemies or like new mechanics or even gear or something. That wouldn't require them to really draw anything. But instead it was a pointless remaster. As again, especially since the game already ran at 1080p on the PS3. So there's like literally no reason for that to exist, aside from just trying to make money off PS4 players. That's like their best-selling game too. I don't know why they didn't like give it more love. Alright, let's go ahead and try again. It's one thing Gundam Breaker does right, is the loot is actually very interesting. And you have a lot of customization and stuff. Dragon's Crown is really lacking that, so that on top of the really janky combat, where it's kind of random if anything actually reacted to an attack, it just didn't feel that good. I'm just trying to get some better abilities for the harder difficulties. see, hold on. Let's see if I even have any achievements to get. Alright, there we go. Got a pretty crappy build right now. There we go, there's a weapon. That was worth doing. track is so good. This game's fun. Apparently they want to get it on other platforms. I think it's supposed to be on mobile too, if it's not already. That's kind of why it has that stuff that's like, it feels out of place, like the timer for the daily challenges and the shop refilling once a day. Apparently that's all just stuff for the mobile version. But it doesn't really matter here because there's no microtransactions and the shop usually sells junk anyway. But man, if they get this on Switch, I would definitely play the shit out of that. The Switch is such a great place for roguelikes, so I hope they're going to get it on there. I'm curious what's taking the English translation so long. There's really not a lot of text in this game. I mean, the fact that I'm using an auto translator that JD Lightside posted about, and it's almost normally readable, then I don't see why they're taking so long. Anyway, I should probably let my throat rest. I'm still kind of recovering from my cold. So let me see if I can host somebody on Twitch. I need to upload tomorrow's video too. That's probably going to take like half an hour. So that is it for now. Should be back in the morning. Need to do some errands, pick up some meds, and then I'm not sure what the plan is tomorrow. I'll probably play some more Gundam Breaker 3 or C2 Chaos. Maybe a little Gintama, since those are the 3 things I'm working on right now. So yeah, I'll see you guys later.